Welcome to DJ Sports Podcast Week 2. I'm your host, Jairus Getter, and this is my co-host, Devin Shivadecker, and today we are going to start off with, again, some news, and I'm going to hand it over to Devin to start it off.
All right, so we all know about what happened in last week's game against the Colts for the Broncos. Aqib Talib, random. It was a dumb play. It was after the play. He just walked up when they were arguing and poked Dwayne Allen, the tight end for the Colts, right in the eye. I mean, that was so uncalled for. There was no reason to do that. That was just idiotic. He had to be thinking about his consequences when he did that.
Right, but here's the thing about Aqib Talib. Like, he does not... He doesn't really care. He plays by his own rules, and I mean... If you're down to the Colts and you're an undefeated team and the best thing that you can do is, poke an opposing tight end or wide receiver in the eye, you must be having an off day. And I think, the best thing that you could do for a defense against Aqib Talib, if you're a wide receiver, just put your hand right up to your nose. That way it guards the poking of the eyes.
Yeah.
That's the best
Full
thing.
Three Stooges on it.
Full Three Stooges, yeah. Definitely.
He was only suspended for one game, which is dumb in my opinion. I think he should have been suspended for more. Yeah, I think it was dumb. It was uncalled for.
It wasn't PEDs or anything like that. He just poked a dude in the eye. I mean,
at least 2 games.
At least 2?
Yeah. Well, he tried to appeal it, but it ended up being denied this week. So, okay, this next story tends to crack me and Jairus up a little bit because it's just so bizarre. All right, Oakland Raiders linebacker Ray Armstrong during the Pittsburgh game last week. Apparently, he taunted a police dog by lifting his shirt and pounding his chest and barking, which doesn't sound normal, okay? But here's the bad part. That's a third-degree felony with a maximum 7 years prison, $15,000 fine.
Didn't we just talk about some guy that used to play for Oakland that murdered 3 people and got convicted? And it's just like, can y'all just not stay out of trouble for 2 seconds? That'd be fantastic.
It's crazy. I mean, the NFL's looking into it. It's gonna be an actual case.
It's an actual case by the league. What do you do in Oakland? First you got Charles Woodson, who we discussed last week. I won't bash Oakland anymore, but I'm just saying, y'all got bad luck. Y'all still terrible though, for real. What the hell? Who the hell are you drafting?
People who are pounding their chests and barking at dogs, which that questions anything going on in that team for me.
I'm kind of thinking Ray Lewis should have been a Raider. you know. Right. Hi, my name's Ray Lewis. I killed 2 people, and I played for the wrong team in the NFL.
It was a driver intervention program, 3 days, and he also faced a $400 fine. He got his license suspended for 6 months, and it also a 1-game suspension, which I think is a little light, actually, for that.
Well, he got his summer tuition taken away too, which I mean is kind of stupid because this is what I hate about college football. College football is politics. Like, it's nothing but it's like okay, JT, you completely just pled guilty to drunk driving and you were underage. We're only going to suspend you for 1 game. And it's like Urban Meyer walked up to him and had a meeting with JT Barry. He goes, "Son, we're going to dismiss your tuition for summer." Well, does that mean that I can't play anymore? Hell no, son. We need you to play.
Right.
So basically, I'm thinking that it's Ohio State. It's Ohio State. It happens everywhere. Ohio State, and then Tennessee basketball had some stuff or whatever. NCAA is nothing but politics, and that doesn't really shock me out of Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, recently I guess he apologized to his family, friends, OSU, and the fans, but I mean, I still think that is a little light. But I guess that's going to bring us to our first break. That's the news we got for you today, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the college playoff rankings.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to DJ Sports Podcast Week 2. This is Devin and Jairus, and we're going to talk about a little college playoff rankings right now. Obviously, number 1 still is Clemson, number 2 Alabama, number 3 Ohio State, and number 4 Notre Dame. And they all 4 won tonight, so I'd imagine that when they refresh the college playoffs this weekend, it'll probably still be the same.
Yeah, definitely. I think the most impressive team that really sticks out for me, like I touched on Clemson last week, and how I think, Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in the country right now. ACC football coming back. But the way that Alabama stopped Leonard Fournette on defense, the LSU running back last week, I honestly believe that Alabama might be the team to beat, but Notre Dame at number 4. That is a sleeper because they're running on their second string quarterback, Malik Zaire, or whatever his name is. He went to Bishop Walter High School here in Dayton, and he went down with an ACL tear. And he actually so we have a second string quarterback for Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame here. Running through some scores, LSU's actually getting beat by Arkansas, which is ridiculous, by the way. Arkansas is not that good. Memphis is up barely on the 2013, which was Houston, I believe. Let's see here. Iowa and Minnesota are tied.
Which is also pretty crazy, considering Iowa.
Yeah, Ohio State at 1. Again, Iowa's a sleeper team. Florida beat South Carolina. Michigan State beat Maryland. Michigan held Indiana, and Indiana is going to be coming around the next couple of years. Barely lost to Ohio State, barely lost to Michigan. All these losses that Indiana's gotten, barely lost, and it's kind of ridiculous. Tennessee Volunteers won against North Texas today, so there's that as well. And I think that's it for college football. So I think we're going to go into the NFL MVP race.
All right, so obviously you got some names that come to mind. Any of the quarterbacks for the undefeated teams right now, you got Tom Brady, who's been doing some great things in New England with a supporting cast as well. And then you also have Andy Dalton, who's been doing some things also with Cincinnati, with also a good supporting cast. And then you got Cam Newton, who a lot of people think because of the numbers that he shouldn't be considered. But if you think about, he doesn't really have that great of a supporting cast when it comes to receivers and things like that. So he's really carrying the team with his runs and his athletic ability, taking the hits.
Exactly. I think Jonathan Stewart and that Carolina Panthers defense has to be the X factor. Impressive wins last week and the week before. They beat Green Bay. Who they beat last week? Beat Green Bay last week, and then they beat another big team this week.
I know they beat the Colts in overtime.
They beat the Colts and they beat Green Bay. So was it Green Bay? Yeah, I believe it was Green Bay that they beat. So basically, I think Cam Newton deserves the MVP in a way. He's come a long way from Auburn and JUCO college, stealing that computer from the Florida Gators, getting kicked out, going to JUCO, going back to Auburn, winning the national title, and then coming into the Carolina Panthers, not doing too well, and then they boasted up, got an amazing defense.
Oh, it was the Colts, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was the Colts. Yeah, it was the Colts last week, so fantastic supporting cast, but I think the guy, for me, that really sticks, didn't even start to begin the season, and I bet Dan Quinn's kicking his own ass because he started Tevin Coleman over Devontae Freeman, 164 carries, 721 yards, 9 touchdowns, and I think he's only played about 7 games or 6 games out of the 8, so...
Yeah, it's great.
Really good stats.
He's really proven himself. You could just see in the first couple weeks he was playing, he was just blowing up. He was leading rusher and everything right out of the gates. Yeah, it was just a great performance.
Great runner, great rushing. Who do you ultimately think is going to win the MVP this year?
Well, if you look at Devonta Freeman, he's kind of been at a pause for the last 2 or 3 games. With 9 touchdowns, he was doing real good. He's kind of in a plateau right now, so we'll have to see how he does. The quarterbacks, I think it's more of it depends on who can stay undefeated the longest type of thing for most people. But even if you lose a couple games here and there, if you're just talking on pure skill, I mean, you just got to see who plays the best. I think quarterback-wise, I think either Tom Brady or Andy Dalton, because, I mean, Cam Newton's really good and everything, but, I mean, how long can he take the hits? How long can he keep up running the offense almost by himself rather than...
Yeah, but here's the thing about Cam Newton. Resiliency. You have hardly any wide receivers because your leading wide receiver is Greg Olsen, who is awesome, by the way.
And a tight end.
And a tight end, yes. But you have your main receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, went down. preseason, I believe. So they were out without him from the beginning. And, you got Jericho Cotchery, Philly Brown.
Also, Ted Ginn, who has a butterfinger problem.
Ted Ginn. He's come along, and then Devin Funchess, who played at Michigan, but he doesn't really play that much. But, he doesn't have...
He did great last night, by the way.
He makes shit happen. That's what Cam Newton does. He can turn any shitty situation into positive yardage.
Yeah.
And he can score. And
do somersaults in the end zone.
But Tom Brady wins the MVP. Reason being, you have only thrown 2 picks the entire year through 8 games. I think the Patriots still have a bye week. So
no, they had
they had their bye week already. Well, they're gonna wreck shit. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. They had a week 5, but they're gonna wreck shit, and they're just gonna keep winning. And I think with their points per game that they've managed to do, and they can keep the other offenses at bay, I think the Patriots can either go 15-1 or 16-0.
I'm gonna say you're probably right with the MVP, but I'd say it'll come down to, like I said, Brady and Dalton. But it just depends on how Dalton can handle these big games coming up.
Right.
Because, it seems like it'd probably be Brady right now, but we're only halfway through the season. So I'd say either them two or someone who picks it up.
But, see, Andy Dalton has, he has what is, quote-unquote, an easy schedule, but he's got spoilers. The Ravens can come in any day because you got Flacco. The Ravens are that good this year because of injuries and all that stuff. Injuries big time. They've got Pittsburgh one more time, I believe. They play Denver. They play Cleveland one more time.
They still play St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, St. Louis. And they also, and I think, I said last week, Blaine Gabbert, I trust Blaine Gabbert as much as I trust Mexican tap water to run an offense. But, he won last week against the team in the Atlanta Falcons. So I take back everything I said about Blaine Gabbert because he's got something to prove, and I think he takes Colin Kaepernick's job. And he knows how to run that offense. He's playing with fire because he got screwed in a situation in Jacksonville, given it's Jacksonville. But he got screwed. I honestly think that the Cincinnati Bengals that they're going to win at least 12 games. But I think, that next Steelers game, that 49ers game, possibly the Cleveland game, and possibly the Ravens game, 3 out of those 4, spoilers. Big spoilers.
We will see. But that's probably going to take us to our second break here. And when we get back, we're going to have our NFL picks for this coming Sunday. And we're also going to have a guest do a call-in and give his picks as well.
Yeah, Brad Landis is coming up next, so y'all stay tuned. And welcome back to DJ Sports Podcast. We're here with my cousin Brad Landis, and he's going to do some NFL picks. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
All right, so basically what we're going to ask you right now is what was your opinion of the Thursday night game between Buffalo and the Jets?
It was a little bit surprising. I thought the Jets would have had a little bit more offense to get going, but I definitely was feeling the uniforms though. That one worked out pretty good.
I agree. It was great seeing the big difference in colors. I was wondering about the whole colorblindness thing when they posted it. They said they're going to work on it, but I don't see how they're going to work on it. Like, how could they fix that? I don't know. They're going to add different colors to the helmet maybe so they can tell between teams? Like, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I honestly don't know because all I was focused on was the performance Shady McCoy put up against that defense.
I know, right?
In all honesty, because I think he had
over 100.
100, yeah. Good game on both rushers. So
there's that. What's the next matchup we got?
The next matchup we have is the Green Bay Packers against the ever so wonderful 1-7, 1-8 Detroit Lions. Brad, who you got, man?
This one's kind of obvious. Packers are going to blow them out because obviously Rodgers is going to have a great game against that secondary. Yeah. They can't cover anybody at all.
They couldn't cover a blind side of a barn. I like Devontae Adams here to have a big game because you are going to beat the crap out of the Detroit Lions through the air because their through the air defense is pretty awful.
It's like you're playing against ghosts, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like practice with no secondary.
You got a score on this one, Brad?
I got the Packers 35-10. I'm actually going to give the Lions some points.
Well, there we go.
You think Stafford's going to actually pull something out of his ass?
That's pushing it, but you got Calvin Johnson in there, so maybe he can help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, the next game we have is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Dallas Cowboys.
America's team.
Yeah, America's team.
Great parties, bitches.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, Brad, who you got, my brother?
I'm taking Buccaneers in this one. Jameson's been playing really good here lately, and Doug Martin came out of his shell past few weeks, I guess.
I would agree.
Out of nowhere, but yeah.
So do you think it's the end of the Charles Sims era, or do you think Lovie Smith's going to go with the two-back set?
He needs to run a two-back set with Charles Sims. I mean, he's pretty quick. He reads the line well. He hits the holes hard. He'd be stupid not to run a two-back set with them two guys back here.
Yeah, I agree. And also, you got to look at Dallas, no Romo. I mean, that's just, obviously, that has not proven well on their record. So
I think they said he's throwing in practice already, though, so he could be getting a return here soon. But
yeah, they said the Miami game.
Yeah, the Miami game, and yeah, I've got Tampa Bay by a field goal. That's about it.
Yeah, I'd say Tampa Bay by close for sure. Obviously we all agreed on Green Bay for the first one, but yeah, I'd say Tampa Bay as well by a touchdown or less.
Who wouldn't agree?
Yeah, I got a 14-10.
Yeah. Who the hell wouldn't agree with Green Bay? Yeah. Okay, MVP Super Bowl quarterback against Matt Stafford. Yeah, okay. We're done talking about the shitty team up north. All right.
What do we got here? Carolina versus Tennessee?
Yeah, we've got the undefeated Panthers who are killing it versus the Tennessee Titans. Brad, who you got, man?
And Mariota's been playing pretty good, but I still don't think he can match Cam Newton.
Not with Josh Norman on the other side of the ball.
There's a guy by the name of Luke Kuechly. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's all right. 100 tackles last 2 years.
There's also a defensive back that's coming out of the woodwork by the name of Kurt Coleman. He's actually from Inglewood. I don't know if you guys remember him playing for Ohio State. He's been playing killer lately.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of had some rough patches in Philly. I mean, kind of had sort of solid playing special teams, went up to Minnesota. Now, I think he's found a home in Carolina because that secondary is ridiculous. Peanut Tillman, actually, he was supposed to be done 2 years ago.
He's like Brett Favre in it.
Yeah, came back, and he's like the resurgent. He's like the Brett Favre of the defensive back.
He's like, I'm not going until Woodson goes.
Yeah. Well, we don't go till Woodson goes. I think we'll be dead before Woodson goes.
All right, what we got next?
We have got the lovable losers in Chicago, the Bears, taking on that defense of the St. Louis Rams. Brad, who you got, man?
I'm taking the Rams defense all the way. I mean, but on the last show, you guys mentioned something about Tom Brady being able to make no-name receivers out of something. I think Nick Foles is doing the same thing here for the Rams. I mean, Tavon Austin, that's an obvious one, but all those other guys, man, they come up big with some good plays when needed.
Stedman Bailey's also somebody, and Kenny Britt. I mean, Kenny Britt was in Jeff Fisher's offense when he drafted him in Tennessee when Fisher was still there. So, but I'm actually going to go out on a limb, and I'm taking the Bears in this one to win. Upset.
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Todd Gurley and the Rams, of course. But
how can you not go with Gurley?
I mean, come on now. He's like Rookie of the Year candidate.
No, he's already got it.
Yeah, he is the Rookie of the Year, but I think Jay Cutler is pissed off enough to get his third one? Yeah, so yeah.
What are we like over halfway through the season?
Yeah, hey man, the NFC's too solid. You can't get a wild card spot. But hey, you're Jay Cutler. If you go through a game without throwing 4 picks, it's a good day. So go Bears.
Next up, New Orleans versus good old Washington.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Kirk Cousins versus a Drew Brees that's been consistent as hell, boys. Lately, yes.
Beginning, I wouldn't say so much, but lately, definitely. I'm probably gonna have to go with the Rams. Or I mean, not the Rams. The Saints on this one for sure.
I will have to go with Drew Brees and the boys as well. Mark Ingram has a day, over 150 yards rushing. Brad, who you got, brother?
Say you.
I actually wrote down that I was picking the Redskins for the upset of the week, thinking Cousins going to have a good game, but I'm starting to rethink this one.
I don't know. That's a good upset, though. I mean,
because I have it marked down. The Skins are going to take it 17-7 because you got Kerrigan, coming after Breeze, and Breeze. If you watched all his throws the past 2 games, he's been close to getting hit an awful lot, and I don't know that they've really faced a rusher like Kerrigan coming in. So
I honestly don't think so either. I mean, you have the Redskins are kind of that spoiler team. That's kind of like you can't take them lightly some weeks, but some weeks it's kind of like, oh, this is the team that traded away how many picks to get RG3, and that's how the Rams got rebuilt. But then at the same time, it's like you have a Kirk Cousins who was solid at Michigan State, great quarterback. But I think Drew Brees' experience and his ability to throw bombs, because I think that shoulder's feeling a tad bit better.
Yep.
A little bit better than Andrew Luck's shoulder.
That's what I was thinking.
And, so I'm taking Drew Brees and the old man. And,
All right, let's see what else we got. Miami, Philadelphia.
Brad, well, let's just start off, man. Who's your X factor for this one?
Well, Lamar Miller has just been he's been on it. So I got to take the Dolphins on this one. On top of it, you can't ever you have to plan your entire offense around Cameron Wake.
Right.
And with the Eagles letting go of Mathis and not having that offensive line there, and I see Bradford. I'm calling Wake to have 3 sacks for this game.
Yeah, I'm honestly thinking somewhere along the lines of if Sam Bradford can get into that defense's head, but it's going to be hard because you got Ndamukong Suh. Given he's not as dominant as he used to be, but I think if he could get in that backfield, Miami will run all day, and it depends on what secondary the Dolphins show up.
I think isn't Cameron Wake out with Achilles for the rest of the year though?
Did he go out for the year? I didn't hear that yet.
I think. Says Cameron Wake's absence makes Dolphins team much.
Oh yeah,
weaker. Yeah. I think he's out with the.
Oh well.
How does that affect you?
Then I can't. And Ndamukong Suh, that's still. I mean, he's going to play a little bit harder. He's got to make up for it. So, Brent Grimes in the back. Hopefully, he shows up. I'm still taking the Dolphins though.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have trust in Bradford. I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I think Sam Bradford is a pick for comeback player of the year just for the simple fact that he's gone through, week 10, week 11, without tearing a knee, which is impressive because I think St. Louis was at the point where they called me to be the starting quarterback at some point. Like, hey, come work out.
Hey, the season is not over yet, though.
Yeah. True. Very true. All right, our next game, and a solidified one in the AFC North. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Cleveland Browns. Brad, who is your X factor, and who do you got in this one?
Let's get a score.
Well, how can you not pick the Steelers? I mean, it's the Browns. Is Johnny Manziel playing?
No.
Then I'm definitely taking the Steelers. Either way.
Healthy. I think.
He's healthy. Well,
if he is, they're going to play him. They said.
Well, I'm still taking the Steelers. I mean, D'Angelo Williams, Le'Veon Bell being absent, he's tearing it up, man.
Yeah, true. I think every game he started, he's had over 150 yards rushing, and at least
there's one other little guy you got to worry about too. I think his name's Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
he's all right.
Joe Hayden's not going to be able to keep up with him. I'm sorry, he just can't.
I think Joe Hayden is out.
He was out last week.
I think he's questionable. I think it's a game time decision, but
Yeah, I think they said probable on it is what I saw.
Even if it's a game time decision, Antonio Brown, unbelievable.
Just look at last week.
Look at last week. Yeah, look at that Raiders defense, that Raiders secondary that's supposed to be pretty top notch, but couldn't hang with them. 264 yards. You know, how many catches? 20 catches, 18 catches, something like that. And, you know, but the big thing for me, and this is my X factor, is are they going to let Roethlisberger play?
I say no. I say they're going to go definitely
Landry Jones.
Landry Jones.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I think they're definitely going to. That's what I was reviewing, and there was like a state of the AFC. They were saying, they were saying that Landry Jones was definitely going to start, most likely over Roethlisberger.
The only way Landry Jones can come in and win a game is if Mike Vick gets him a lead. Unfortunately, Mike Vick is out because Mike Vick's old as shit and still thinks he can run. But, you know, he's hurt. He's out. Landry Jones has to come in, play a full 4 quarters. Tough fought game, and I'm going to go with Steelers win by a touchdown last minute.
Yeah.
Just like they beat Oakland last minute last week.
I would agree. I would say it's even closer than that. I'd say field goal with Landry.
What's your score on this one, Brad?
I have Steelers blowing them out 37-13.
Wow.
Even with Landry.
I have faith in Landry. He showed some good stuff the last game he played. I mean, thought he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And now you're up against a Brown secondary that's banged up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, here's a game where I'm just sitting here like, you don't know which way it's going to go, but I kind of have a little bit of an idea. It's Jacksonville and Baltimore, and the way Baltimore's secondary is playing and the way that receiving core of Jacksonville's playing, the record doesn't show, but Jacksonville's pretty solid. Blake Bortles has really come out of his shell in his second year, I believe. So,
Yep.
Who do you got and why, more importantly?
So I have the Jags over the Ravens, 20-10. Simply because the Ravens are terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, they're terrible. And not only you got Blake Bortles back there, but you also have the Allen brothers, Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns.
Yeah. And I think Allen Robinson's had over 100 yards catching in the last few games. So, Blake Bortles' favorite target. I think Blake Bortles has close to 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, maybe an interception, maybe. But I don't think Flacco. I think Flacco's going to throw one too many elite receptions because, you know, Flacco is the most elite quarterback in the league, according to some people.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote elite. Yeah, right. So, yeah, I got Baltimore in this one though. I mean, I think Flacco can seriously come out. I think Flacco's going to go blow for blow with the Jags, and I think he's going to come out.
I say Jacksonville on this one. I mean, they've been playing pretty good. I mean, even though they've had some losses and everything, they have been playing solid. Like Jared said, their record really hasn't shown. I mean, Baltimore is a consistent record of ending the game with another person to add on IR. Their IR list is like approaching their practice squad size and the rest of their whole bench.
Justin Tucker for MVP.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, I got Baltimore upset. Even though I think Bortles is going to throw for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns, I think Flacco's going to do the same. This next game, you got 2 great quarterbacks that came out in the same year. One should have went before the other, and that is Teddy Bridgewater versus Derek Carr. Because, let's face it, the rest of the team doesn't really matter because you're watching the quarterback matchup all day long.
Right.
Brad, I know you love Derek Carr. I know you love you some Derek Carr, but who do you got?
I got the Raiders over the Vikings, actually, in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one simple thing to point out there. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, has 19 touchdown passes with 4 picks. Carr has 18 touchdowns with 4 picks. His yards are about identical. His percentage rating is about identical, and the quarterback rating is only 1 point lower.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with Amari Cooper as well, being the guy to be able to receive that ball.
I always said when you give Derek Carr somebody to throw to, he had nobody to throw to last year. You bring in Crabtree, you bring in an Amari Cooper in the draft. Those deep threats, man, and they burn Pittsburgh right up, and they can seriously take that secondary of the Vikings. That's not that good, and I think the Raiders are going to win big here. I got the Raiders by at least 2 touchdowns.
I'm actually going with Minnesota on this one because you got this guy catching the ball, Stephon Diggs, and he's been doing pretty good. He's like trailing for rookie of the year as well. I mean, he's been doing good. I think that Bridgewater can get it to him more than 10 times. I think that they'll be in good shape.
Right. Okay, our next game, and this is the game of the week for me, at least.
I would say so, too.
You've got the New England Patriots going up against the New York Giants, who we know Tom Coughlin has Bill Belichick's card, and we know that they've got their number. He's figured out the Belichick riddle, but Tom Brady, right? So
that's always the question.
You know, so basically, what I'm asking is, can Eli and the boys hold up? Can Odell have a day, or does Tom Brady and the New England Patriots prevail to stay undefeated? Brad, who you got?
You know I hate him. You know I hate him more than anybody in the world. But Tom Brady, you can't beat him. Odell Beckham, I think he's going to have a good day. He's going to have a lot of targets, but I think he's going to get the only touchdown that the Giants score. And Patriots are going to blow them out.
Patriots are going to blow them out. Wow.
Yeah, 38-7.
Wow.
I am going to do an upset pick here. I'm going to go ahead and do the Giants against New England, just because if you look at all of the seasons where the Patriots have been playing, we're talking like 1 loss, no loss. We're talking the streak was ended by the Giants every time. And I think they've been playing really good. I mean, look at them, what they were keeping up with. I mean, Drew Brees in that game, he threw, what was it, 7 touchdowns? Or,
yeah, 7.
I mean, he was only 1 away. I mean, they were keeping the score close. I'm saying if they can connect with Beckham, and I just think that the Giants have this one.
X Factor, Ruben Randall, big time, because you know they're going to be covering Odell all day. So
Randall's going to be wide open.
Can you get it to Ruben Randall? Can you make the throws? Can you get it to O'Donnell, your tight end? If you can, you're in East Rutherford. You're not playing in Gillette. If you were playing in Gillette, Patriots all day. Patriots on the road in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Don't forget that Prince Hockamora is out.
Yeah. So pretty much Julian Edelman, if he plays, is going to pretty much get the ball. So you got Edelman and you got a guy named Gronk, but I think it's going to be.
Isn't Dobson back?
Yeah, they got Aaron Dobson back.
You got your deep threat there too.
So I have got the New York Football Giants upsetting the New England Patriots.
Boy, Jarris.
35. I think it's going to be 35-32. So somewhere around in that range. Field goal game and overtime. Field goal game at least.
I'm gonna say it's actually. I'd say 28-27 Giants. I'm saying 1.
Wow, 1
I'm saying
point
1, and I'm saying it's not a super high scoring game, but it's not a low scoring game either. So, all right, what's the next game we got?
Our next game that we have for our known avid Broncos fan, but I know he's not going to be biased because he knows how good this team is. Kansas City versus Denver. Brad, you got Peyton Manning, who's not doing too well, but you got the defense that's playing awesome.
Without Hakeem Talib, but they are in Mile High.
Yeah, but they are Mile High. So who you got, my man?
They still have a guy by the name of Chris Harris Jr. and Von Miller, and out of the woodwork, what is his name? Shaq Barrett. Yeah. Where did this guy come from? I have the score higher, but I'm rethinking it. I think I'm going to take it down to like a 17-10, 17-14 kind of score. It's going to be low scoring, but I think Peyton's actually going to be able to put some points on the board.
No, Do you think Peyton breaks the record he's supposed to break a mile high this week?
I don't believe he has very many yards to break it by.
So if he does not, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
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 I was thinking it was a little more than that, but if he does it, I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's literally 3 yards. He had 2 drives to try it last week. He would have, but he threw his interception on the first drive last week, and then the penalty caused them to not have a drive at the end of the game. He had to be furious.
The X factor for this game, Mr. Justin Houston, who is a beast, but I have got Denver 17-14 overtime.
Yeah, I got Denver as well.
Our last and final game, and this might be a really, really, really interesting game for our Sunday games at least. We have got our Seattle Seahawk and Arizona Cardinal game. Who do you got, and by how many points, and who is the main guy you're going to be watching?
This is a good game.
Well, I mean, Carson Palmer's playing too strong lately, and I think John Brown got cleared to play.
Yes.
Not 100% sure, but you got John Brown. You got another guy by the name of Larry Fitzgerald. It's still hard to go against. I know the lead Boom's there, but they can't bring it together for some reason. I mean, they're just...
They look like the Legion of Paper Mache when it comes to trying to do the pass defense.
Yeah, I bet they're wishing they didn't pay Cam Chancellor all that money now.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
They're looking like a bunch of arts and craft Tony Romos.
Yeah, they're looking like the direct TV Legion of Boom. Yeah, the cable Legion of Boom.
I got the Cardinals though. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I think not too high. I'm calling Cardinals 27-24 overtime.
Russell Wilson gets the win at home. Same score though, 27-24. Beast mode all day.
I'm gonna say since they're in Seattle, they got the 12th man. I'm saying actually Seattle proves it this week that they're not completely gone and they're not fading away. I say that they're gonna win it probably 24-10.
Okay. And our last and final game, I don't even know why we're discussing this because it's stupid. All right, you got the division-leading and undefeated Cincinnati Bengals going up against an AFC South team, which is the biggest joke in all of sports, in the Houston Texans. And unless J.J. Watt can be quarterback, I think Tyler Eifert and Andy Dalton are going to have a day. So
I agree.
Who do you got?
Teams have been running all over the Texans too, and you guys got Hill and Bernard in the backfield together. Blowout, 33-10 Bengals. Where's J.J. Watt been this year?
Absolutely nowhere. Where's that reigning defensive player of the year? Now, before we let you go, man, I'm gonna have to ask you one thing. If the season ended today, who would be your league MVP?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, again, I hate him, but Tom Brady's been killer this year. He's hard not to go with.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. You cannot go against Tom Brady at all. And I think that'll do it for picks and all that. So, Brad, thank you for your time.
We got one last thing here. It's going to be the what the heck fact. Is what we always close the show with. And we have a really interesting one this time. It says Sam Bird is the only person to ever be in both the Masters and the World Series. Bird played in the World Series in 1931 and played in the Masters in both 1941 and 1942, and that's on rantsports.com. Top 25 crazy sports facts.
Wow, that's absolutely insane, man. Let's see here. Brad's going to be back next week with more picks and more X Factors, and we want to thank him for his time. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and all the YouTube stuff, and make sure you watch our video. So we appreciate it. Brad, thanks for your time, man.
Yep, have a good night.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
See you next week.
See ya.